This is Jenny Chen. I'm the Associate Director of the Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporation with special focus on medical AI. It is my pleasure to serve as the moderator of this panel session with the topic, how AI is unlocking health longevity from drug discovery to patient care. So in the next 25 minutes, we aim to gain insights on how AI could bring values to the healthcare sector, including but not limited to drug discovery, clinical trials, and improving patient outcomes. The panel will also touch on the funding landscape and also the future outlook of medical AI industry. So today we are excited to have two stellar experts with us. So they are Dr. Frank Poon from Insilico Hong Kong and Dr. Eddy Wu from the CEO of Ethic Vision. So to kickstart, may I invite our panelists to give us a quick introduction of yourself, shall we? Dr. Poon, please.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Frank from Insilico Medicines. First of all, thank you very much for having these opportunities to introduce myself and our company. So basically, Insilico is one of the world's leading AI drug discovery company. We have our proprietary pharma AI platform from biologies to chemistry to biologics so that we can facilitate the whole drug discovery process. At the same time, we also have our internal pipeline. So we have successfully used our pharma AI platform to drive many internal programs such as the fibrosis, immunology, and also the oncologies. Yes, I will share more of how AI can facilitate the drug discovery later. Thank you.
So, Dr. Wu?
Thanks, Jenny, and thanks again inviting me to having this opportunity to share AsiaWorld-Expo and some of my opinions with all of you. AsiaWorld-Expo is an ophthalmology-focused biotechnology company. We established around 6 years ago. Up till now, we have announced more than 10 pipelines, including the phase from preclinical stage, animal stage, clinical stage, and NDO market stage as well. We are not limited to drug or device. We have the products focusing on gene therapy, cell therapy. Also, we have the neurostimulated device for the dry patients, and we have some drug for the uveitis as well. So we are covering different type of eye disease, only focusing on the medical need or the consumer-oriented market. So if you are interested to know more about ophthalmology, and if you would like to know more about the biotech environment, I'm also would take the opportunity to share with you, and also would take the opportunity to, after these sections, to talk more about on those as well. Thank you very much.
So, as we all know that probably from most of the audience from the floor, so Insilico Medicines has been a pioneer in the AI drug discovery industry with platforms like Panda Omics and Chemistry 42, which support the drug discovery and medical research. So, Dr. Poon, could you share how Insilico Medicines is transforming the traditional drug discovery processes, particularly in terms of speed, cost, and success rate?
Yes, thank you. So, as I mentioned just now, we have our pharma AI platform. So it should be the first fully integrated AI platform that we can start using AI from the very beginning. First of all, we use our biology 42 to find out the best targets, okay, for a particular disease. So once we identify the targets, and then we can move to the next sections. That is, if we are interested in the small molecule drugs, we can use the chemistry 42 to help us to design and truly novel small molecules to tackle that particular targets. Or let's say if we are interested on the biologics, we can also have our generative biologics to help us to design the peptide antibodies with a novel sequence that to tackle that particular targets. So overall, with these advanced AI platform, we can successfully, for example, for our records, we can, on average, from the target discovery to the IND enabling to or to PCC, it only takes us about 12 to 18 months. So it is an industry record. And we have many successful cases. Over the years, we have successfully do the IND enabling and PCCs for about 20 programs. And we also successfully moved it, at least 5-hour program to the clinical stage. Our lead program already reached the human phase 2A. And as far as know, it is the first AI identified target, AI generated small molecule that can reach the human clinical trial phase 2A, and with promising results. So we are still moving other programs to the clinical trial as well. So I think in terms of the speed, in general, we usually take 1/3 of the time for by the traditional method, and the cost will also be at least half, okay, than before. But I think the most important part is we are not only just trying to save the money, save the time, but I think let's say take the small molecule as an example. The structure is truly novel, and they are potentially being the first in the class of the drug. Okay, it is not save the time, but it also provide a truly novel therapeutics. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I also heard that Insilico Medicine's pharma AI model indeed is transforming how pharmaceutical company to design their clinical trial. So could you share a bit about what is pharma AI? How does it work, and the impact of this on to the industry? And are there any specific user cases or success story that you can share with us?
Yes, sure. For the pharma AI, now we have more than 10 very useful software and platforms. One of the most important part for the biology is the pandomics that we discussed before. It is an AI-driven target discovery platform. We can use it to do the novel target discovery, indication expansion, and drug repurposing. Recently, we just published a paper together with very great local universities, and we just have a big press release in January. Basically, we try to use our pharma AI platforms to do the endometriosis, novel target discovery, as well as the drug repurposing. And the result is very good. Actually, it only takes us about 6 months to identify the novel target for endometriosis, and then we also chose the repurposed drug. In both the peritoneal and the mice model, it successfully reduced the endometriotic lesion volume and the size. So it is a very good successful example that we published recently. And for the chemistry side, we also published a paper that is focusing on designing a gut-restrictive small molecules for the treatment of IBD, which is PhD inhibitors. That was the second Nature Biotech paper we published in the same year. The first one is the TNIC inhibitors. So basically, with our pharma AI platforms, the chemistry 42, we can design novel small molecules. And most important is the gut restrictive, because let's say if it is gut restricted, and then it's help us to prevent a lot of the toxicities problem. So these are the most famous recent examples to demonstrate how our pharma AI can help the drug discovery. But of course, the most important example is still our first program, the TNIC inhibitor, that we can use it to treat fibrosis, IPF. That one has moved to the human clinical phase 2A, and we released the results last November. The result is quite promising. Yeah, thank you.
Impressive, Dr. Poon. So after hearing from Dr. Poon insight on how AI is applying to the drug discovery and also on the clinical research, so let's turn our attention to Dr. Wu to learn about the potential of AI in transforming medical system to enhance patient care. So Dr. Wu, what are the current applications of AI in improving patient outcomes? How can healthcare system overcome the barriers like concern of data privacy, requirement of regulations, and also the resistance to change of the community? So would you please share some light on that?
Thanks for the questions. Yeah, indeed, AI is helping us a lot in terms of the clinical development, helping us to develop a better promising drug. But you are pointing out a very good question. Ultimately, how AI could help the patients to have a better outcome. If we could not have a better outcome, then why we bother to invest so much in such of an AI? Now, there are many different types of attempts currently doing. Because you know that Activision is a focus in ophthalmology space. I'm not talking about my company focus, but I would like to talk about many others, societies, unit, or even including university and some associations. They are doing different type of AI-empowered app to help the patients to enhance their compliance. So to be honest, most of the app, they are so-called AI-empowered, is helping the patients to monitor themselves, to make sure that they could use the drug or use the treatment in a much more regular base. But the major problem of all those kind of so-called the AI empowers is still quite passive. So you still need to take out your phone and then to click on the app first and make sure that your app is going to be launched. If you are a patient, have those type of already activeness to do such type of things, to be honest, you don't really need the AI to remind you because you already remember how to use the AI and then ask the AI to remind you to take the drugs, to do the monitoring. So to be honest, from my perspective, many different types of attempts currently doing are in a good direction, but to be honest, it's still not very user-friendly. I hope in the futures, more and more AI could be like if there are more robotics or device that could have a auto detections functions, then would change the overall dynamic of the monitoring the outcome and to help the patient compliance ultimately. For example, I work with one of the university in mainland China. They are developing a AI diagnostic with the camera of the AI phone, then can understand your eye cares. For example, like the dry eye situations, whether you have the enough tears, secretions. But still, if you are active enough to all those things, you could not, I mean, to avoid the problem that you forgot to use those type of AI that empowered app. But how about if those type of AI empowered apps could help you to automatically launch it and detect you in a much more in a background stage? You have no feeling at all, but giving you much more advice once you are could be being alerted, then would be much more helpful. And other problems you are asking related is the regulatory. This is also very important as well. To be honest, there are many different types of company and also some of the startup they are doing such type of AI-empowered patients compliance or patient outcome monitoring apps. But from a perspective, their business model are still quite being challenged. So ultimately, who is going to pay for it? And I also the mentor of some of those startups as well, I always ask the question is, if there is a misdiagnosis or if there is some medical situation because of your AI-empowered apps because maybe delaying the treatment, then who is going to take the responsibility? Then you have to think about those carefully. And if you are not linked with a medical device or not linked with a treatment, directly improve the clinical outcome, then ultimately your app, your AI-empowered system would be faded out. And those type of things could be, those type of questions would be also challenged by our regulatory authorities as well. Why I have to approve such type of treatment, but the compliance or the linkage with the patient is full of unknown. So those type of questions still could not be solved. So from my perspective, if a company only focusing on the AI app to help the patient compliance or the outcome may not be so realistic or business rewarded. So I encourage such type of startup maybe at the very beginning stage to talk with some of the treatment options or the device company to see how they could make sure that they have the business partner in the future to make sure the regulatory hurdles could be removed and also make sure that those type of AI-empowered software have a treatment linked, then ultimately could help those patients. So because your question is quite broad, I hope I touched some of the point I would like to share. So, yeah,
Absolutely. It's actually indeed food for thought as well. So also for the another, so there are comments that the funding landscape of AI in healthcare application is extremely complex, particularly with quite few of those AI enabled drug candidate could progress into the later stage of clinical development. So Dr. Wu, what trends are you seeing in terms of investor interest, and how optimistic are you about the future of this space?
So I hope I got your question correctly. You are asking about how AI could help those drug development and medical device development.
So it is more on the investor interest. So because for the medical AI is quite a new industry, and so some of the investor is actually quite observative, conserved. So what is your view on that?
Okay. Yeah, this is true. In fact, I talked with quite a lot of different investors related to this field. So to be honest, AI up till now at this moment, maybe Frank could share more. At this moment, it still has the problems to be very convincing related to the drug discoveries or the medical device developments. The major problem is AI is still very based on learning, training, and the data in, and then to see what type of outcome could be predicted. So to be very honest, from the clinical perspective or from a development perspective, the investor, they would try to understand the AI could help them to reduce how much risk, and then to make sure that the invest could go into. But at this moment, the AI, all those aided drug development or medical device development could only help the investor to understand maybe the risk is going to be reduced. But the risk is still there, at least until you are enter into the clinical stage. So how the sort of dynamic could be solved, I believe that at this moment is extremely difficult. And at this moment, all the investors, they are still observing how would be the impact of all the others, big giants, AI company, they are still doing as well. For example, like what we heard about DeepSeek at this moment, now it's open source. So I talked with some of the investor friends. They said that, okay, in the future, if you are not the number one or number two, like Insilico in the past already established the AI system, then you should not invest in the AI drug development at this moment, because in the future you could only use the API or just a plug-in from the DeepSeek or from the other model to facilitate your drug development. So in the future, AI-aided drug development or medical development is not a company focus. Just at this moment, you will not advertise your company, oh, I'm a computer-aided drug discovery company. I'm not an email-aided medical device company, because this is already a normal. This is the new norm. So from the investor perspective, they are also observing the AI-aided drug discovery or medical device is the new norm in the future. Then that means most of the existing medical device or biotech, they would use AI maybe tomorrow or 1 month later. Then why I would like to invest a very AI, very specific focused company at this moment? So we have to let them to understand that some of, like Insilico, they already have a very good system, already maybe number one, number two in the market, then will be very different. But if you are entering at this moment, could be extremely difficult, because the open source, the AI will be overwhelming in the very future. So I believe that what we have to do as a biotech, all of things to work together with the investor, is not talking about how AI as a specific topic impacting, is whether this company is already utilizing those type of things and enhancing the effectiveness, efficiency, and also reducing the risk. If you are proving all those type of concepts and with the AI to reduce your costs and overall the cost, then you could get the confidence from the investor perspective. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your advice, Dr. Wu. And so as we look ahead, so what do you see as the most exciting or transformative trends in AI-driven healthcare sector, for example, for health patient care or drug development in the next 5 to 10 years? So perhaps Dr. Poon, please.
Yes, thank you for the questions. So I would like to see there are more AI-driven drugs being hopefully approved in the next 5 years. so that we can demonstrate that AI can really help. Because as Dr. Wood just mentioned, so how we can convince the investor nowadays, I think it is much more difficult than before, because we cannot just tell them a very beautiful story and then that's it, because now we need to provide evidence. For example, I think the ultimate evidence to prove AI can help is that there is a approved drug decided or developed by AI. And I think the current situation is that we already, not only us and other companies, has been demonstrated that AI can definitely help to facilitate the preclinical studies. So that's for sure. We can see, we can shorten the time, save the cost. That is well demonstrated. But still, the clinical trial is much more challenging because we do not have that huge amount of data, and the outcome, the endpoint is not that clear than the preclinical. So I think the most challenging part is still the clinical side. So in the next, let's say 5 to 10 years, I would like to see some AI approved drugs. Yeah, thank you.
And how about you, Dr. Wu? What's your view?
Yep. Thanks again. I always love the questions predicting the future, because this is, we don't have the crystal ball, right? So this is a very free-flow question. I can say whatever I want to say. So, but I'm quite sure that in the next 5 to 10 years, human will redefine the definition of treatment. So what we are now calling the treatment, most of the times we would think about is a drug or a medical device. But in the coming 5 to 10 years, then we define what is the meaning of the treatment. I just point out some of the example that I'm predicting will be happening in the future with the AI-empowered hardware or software. For example, one of the treatments now currently talking about is the SMA, which is the muscle is going to be strengthened and you do not have any powers to move. Now at this moment, what we are talking about, many companies, some of the companies, they are developing gene therapy to help the patient. So, but in the future, I could say that maybe this is not the ultimate treatment. Gene therapy or other drug could be only the part of the treatments, helping you to making sure the patient is not dying, is survive. And the other part of the treatment is exoskeleton. Now we are talking about exoskeleton. The overall the cost maybe just 100 or 300 US dollar is relatively cheap already. And I always say that if there is a SMA patient, if you're providing a light enough with the autopilot system, exoskeleton, then the patients may not be necessary to be treated by the gene therapy. It's so risky. So this is how we define treatment in the future could be changed because of the AI-empowered society as well. And other example I could say that is related to ophthalmology, which is my expertise area. Now we are working on different type of gene therapy, cell therapy, and the treatments for different type of eye disease. But maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, I tell you that there is a artificial retina, artificial eyeball. If you want to see the sky in a blue color or red color, it's up to you. Then would you really mind whether you have cataract or AMD or some other myopia, presbyopia, short-sighted? You would not care because your visions is AI-empowered already. It's already linked with some of the AI-empowered device. So if you are facing a blindness disease, whether you would choose a gene therapy, then you have 50% or 40% of the chance to recover from your blindness, or you would choose a retina, which is artificial retinas, to help you to have a perfect vision or superhuman vision. So, but to be honest, this would come maybe only 5 and 10 years later. So I could say that maybe just 5 or 10 years later, how we define the treatment would be very different. And from an industrial payer perspective, we have to be very open. We have to absorb all those type of things as well and make sure that we are not only narrowing ourselves, okay, we are a company only focusing on drug or medical device. If there is an AI-empowered treatment, could be beneficial to the patients. If we have enough money and investment, we should explore this as well. Otherwise, the company will be faded out as well, and you could not provide the optimal treatment solutions to the patient. Yeah, so this is what I'm predicting.
Okay, Thank you very much, Dr. Poon and Dr. Wu. And so today we have heard about the fascinating application of AI in improving the drug patient care or accelerating drug discovery. And so we believe that we are being convinced that AI is a very good tool and very important tool for us to improve the longevity of human beings. So please join me to give a round of applause to Dr. Poon and Dr. Wu, who have shared their wisdom with us generously.